the body, while there are a lot of films about action and sort of, sex and action and, where you would think the body is involved, the way that montage edit, or the way that editing has evolved, according to me, and I want to know what you think about this, in some ways ends up denying the body. In this transfer from the set through technology to the screen, how do we engage the body, and how is it honored in some ways, and in other ways possibly not honored?
If somebody pauses in an interview, those pauses can be very significant, but if they last more than a second or two, they get cut out or severely diminished. Or if somebody says, too much during an interview, or which are indications that they're thinking about what the question is and how best to answer it, those also tend to get cut out. So there is an equivalent restriction in film editing. Having said that, when I look at dailies and I find a particularly good pause or breath or look, I will make note of that just as much as I will make note of a good line reading or a good piece of action, because at the right moment, those things can be very useful. And that's a style of editing, a very fast rat-a-tat type editing, which has long roots in the past. So I don't fully agree with you in the sense that it's a stylistic thing. It depends on the kind of film that it is.
Right.
You could divide film into Eisenstein technique and Hollywood technique. Mm-hmm. And Hollywood technique was in its classic form designed to pretend that the edit was not there. Whether they actually achieved that or not, I don't think they did, but that was the goal, was to make an audience feel that they were simply present rather than being confronted with the Eisensteinian dialectic of shot, countershot, shot. Observation of my own technique is that I use the Hollywood technique very sparingly, and I don't ever cut on action except when the circumstances encourage me to do so, but I would say that was maybe 5% or 3% of the time. Usually I hold a shot until the moment to initiate an action is present to the bursting point, and then I make the transition, the cut to the next shot, at which point the movement is initiated. So you could think of it as a series of unfoldings, that each shot is a flowering or an uncurling of the potential that was almost but not yet realized in the previous shot. And that's my argument with the classic Hollywood technique, is that the moment happens, the moment of unfurling action happens, taking off the hat or getting up from the chair or punching somebody, and just as is about to reveal itself, you cut it off and continue the movement in the next shot. But what the audience, the viewing public, has to do is organize themselves to understand what is this other shot. And so there's a reprogramming that happens. It happens very quickly, but it's happening. So a good film will make an audience do something that their body does not ordinarily like by hypnotizing them.